Bakersfield Life magazine is a monthly lifestyle publication that features local people, places, and businesses. It is available to be read on bakersfieldlife.com and publishes the last Saturday of the month with many convenient pickup locations. Find us online on Facebook or Twitter, as well as bakersfieldlife.com.
And welcome back to Open Up. Dawn, before I pass it to you, I would like to say hello to a viewer in Suitland, Maryland, and her name is Dr. Barbara Moten. So thank you for watching, Dawn.
I'll say, just it's wonderful to know that we've got friends out all across the country. Maryland, great state.
Yes.
My father-in-law taught at the Naval Academy there, so yeah, invented some top secret stuff for our submarine fleet. How about that? You being a Navy veteran, you'll appreciate that.
Yes.
Hey, one of the purposes of this show is just to be an encouragement. We all need encouragement, and so we got a little segment that we call Good Words for the Coming Week, and it's our co-host Bob Prater here to share that with us. Bob, take it away.
Thank you, Don. It's good to see you. Good to see Tina. Happy anniversary, guys.
Thank you.
This is a really big deal today.
And to
Yeah.
you, too.
Well, thank you. Okay, so I woke up this morning, and I'm wondering how many people saw the sunrise this morning. It was incredible. You had to be up a little bit early. It was about 7 o'clock. I walked out my front door, and the entire sky was painted. And I thought of something. I began to sing a song in my head. And I want to read this to you. I want to read some lyrics. It's called Here Comes the Sun, because the sun was on its way. So listen to this. And before I read this to you, I want to tell you, there's a story behind this song. When George Harrison wrote this song, he had been with the Beatles for many years, and he was very disenchanted with how much the Beatles had become a business. He found himself having to go into meetings and sign contracts, and all the fun stuff was just about gone. So he literally just walked away for a little bit, and he went to visit a friend. Well, his friend was Eric Clapton. And he stayed at Eric's house. And he found himself in the garden. And he began to write this song. Here's what he wrote. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. And I say, it's all right. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. And I say, it's all right. Little darling, the smile's returning to the faces. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's all right. Sun, 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 here it comes. Sun, 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 here it comes. Little darling, I feel that ice is slowly melting. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been clear. Well, here comes the sun. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's all right. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. It's all right. It's all right. So listen, guys. As we face this day, every once in a while, we all feel like George felt. He was out there, and everything became business. Everything became a have to, a duty. And he found a way to step away. Maybe it's time to visit that friend. Maybe it's time to visit a garden and do something just a little bit different, because listen to me. Here comes the sun. And it's all right.
Well, Bob Prater, what great advice, and from a great guy and a great co-host. We love him, having him part of this show. And here's Danny Abella singing.
Oh!
Here comes the... Danny, can you sing a little of that?
Here comes the sun, doo doo doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's all right.
All right.
I had to do that by ear. Like you said.
Spontaneous, right in the moment. This is Danny and Carol Abella, and they are the heads of the Salvation Army here in Bakersfield. You know, we're coming up on the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, the bell ringing, all that the Salvation Army does. And guys, you've got a really busy season ahead of you, don't you?
Yes,
Yep,
yes,
we
we
do.
do. It's
Hey, at the
starting.
human level, Carol, tell us how you met Danny over in Hawaii.
Well, I went there the day after I graduated from high school. I went to Hawaii to work at the Salvation Army camp there for the summer, and Danny was assigned to pick me up from the airport. And so I heard my name over the loudspeaker, and this man came and gave me a lei and a kiss on my cheek, and that was that.
Welcome to
I
Hawaii.
fell in love,
Yes.
and a year later we were married.
Really?
Yeah.
So this was really a pickup scene, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. He even asked me to marry him 2 weeks after we met.
The Salvation
Really?
Army, that's quite a life choice to go into that. It's a life of such service. And Carol, you just seem to have that heart. You know, some people serve, but you just serve with this radiance on your face. Where does all that come from?
Well, it comes from a relationship with God. I have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, and that has been my sustaining for over my lifetime, throughout my lifetime, and I consider it a privilege to be able to serve our community. Whatever community it is that the Salvation Army puts us, it's an opportunity to serve, and so I have to be faithful to that, and
Wow.
I just have a joy.
You know, Tina, I remember there was a prominent attorney here in Bakersfield, and he was considering the claims of the gospel and considering giving his life to Christ as in midlife. And I remember him saying, "Yeah, I know you Christians. You're the ones with happy eyes." And that's certainly what I see in Carol over there. She's just got the happiest eyes you've ever seen. Danny,
We want to say happy anniversary.
oh, thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Got you on my mind.
Is that a song?
That is. I don't know. Don't ask me to sing that one though.
We're so proud of Danny. This is the Salvation Army moves its people around just like the Army
They
moves
do.
its people around.
They do.
But Danny has been here, I think, the longest of any major officer that we've ever had in
So
Bakersfield.
far, it's been 7 years. My predecessor was 6. Most of the times, our appointments carry us about 3 to 4 years, sometimes 5. But it's unusual to stay this long in such an appointment.
Danny, what do you find, if I may, about Bakersfield in contrast or comparison with other communities that you've served?
You know, one thing that I shared with you before at our Rotary Club, it's so important that we've been in Hawaii, Los Angeles, Tempe, Arizona, Phoenix, Denver, and Boulder. And communities have its own personality. But when we came to Bakersfield, what I really found out, and this is a true, honest fact from our 29 experience, that it is such a giving community, philanthropic, very supportive. Whenever there's a need, and it's not just the Salvation Army, but other nonprofit organizations, that when there's a need in the community, the people just give. They come out and support. And I've never seen that kind of support so far in our appointments that we've had. Maybe that's why we like Bakersfield and working with the people in the community and everyone here, because they're just supportive. Some places you have to kind of work that impression and work that ask for that help. But people just, when you say we need help,
freely give.
they're right here. Yeah.
Freely give.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you get to choose your locations where you go to?
Not so. They
like-
say wherever you want to go, wherever they need you, they'll send you. You can make a choice. One of the farther choices is either Alaska or Hawaii. But we've just opened it up to say, wherever the Lord leads us, that's where He wants us to go. We will do that. We can ask to stay, and maybe that's what we've done here in Bakersfield, to say, just another year maybe, because there's some things that we'd like to do.
You know, one of the things about the giving spirit, Danny, that you mentioned here in Bakersfield, I've theorized that I think part of that in this city's nature is that Bakersfield and right around us, it was the area of the Dust Bowl, and this is where the Okies and the Arkies and they all came to escape the Dust Bowl, and they brought with them their ethic of hard work and their usually their Pentecostal faith, and they brought here and they settled here in Bakersfield, and they worked hard and they succeeded and they prospered and they became the backbone of this country, but they always remembered the hard times and reaching out to one another. And I think that ethos just kind of has carried through the city.
And
Do
they
you
never
agree?
forget, and they passed it on to generations here in Bakersfield.
I saw it as an anchorman here. We'd report on some firehouse burned down, and oh my gosh, the outpouring of help that would come. Christmas gifts stolen from under the tree, and I mean, it just replaced just like that.
Right,
It's-
right. Oh, yeah.
You have a thing called ringing of the bells. or ringing the bell
Sure. Oh,
season.
yes.
Tell us about that.
Well, kettle season, we start it at about midway of November, and that is really our largest fundraising of the year. So it's really an important time for us. So you'll see people out ringing the bell. Some of those folks are volunteers, but some of them are people who are in difficult times themselves. We've hired them for the season so that they can have a job and really be able to help their own families. So it helps in those ways, but then it also raises money for us that we use all year round. We're very visible at Christmas, but we're active all year round, and so it really is a very important time. So when you walk by the red kettle, if you don't have money to put in, at least say hello. That's all right. But if you're able to give, every penny, every nickel, every dime counts.
You know, the guests who preceded you were talking about stopping the violence and intervening in young people's lives. You do a lot with young people here in Bakersfield. We got about 2 minutes. Tell us about what 1 minute. Very
Okay.
30 seconds. Tell us
All
about
right.
your program.
We have several programs. One, during the summer, we have a day camp program that we run for 5 weeks, and we have about 50 kids that participate in that program, and we help to just teach them, help them to have activities so that they're not out doing things that they shouldn't during the summer.
All right. Time to wrap it up. Congratulations.
Oh,
Tina.
no, to you, Don. Congratulations.
So
and
fun
to
working with
Bob
you.
and Marcy being with us, our Harold, Brother Harold Rodriguez. So fun working with you, Don. Don, next week, we're doing some exciting things, so please tune in and look us up on Facebook. Open Up with Don and Tina. Thank
God
you.
bless all. Take care.